Hi, I'm Peggy Lou Who. This is my channel, Peggy Lou Who Reads, or Peggy Lou Who Reads. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome back. If you are not, I want to give a big shout out to and thank you to my subscribers, all 51 of you as of recording this right now, and a big shout out and hi, Mom. So it's been a while, and I'm blonde now. Let's get into it. Okay, so what the hell happened? So I was cruising along doing YouTube, and I started in May of 2021 and went up to February of 2022. So about 9 months there. And I was posting, not too regularly, but like I was posting, and I was trying to do the thing and grow the channel and like all of that. And then it just suddenly stopped, and I didn't upload, and I never said anything about it. But I'm back now. So let's get into all of what happened, and some of it I'll touch on very briefly, some of it I'll go into a little bit more detail, and then also I want to talk about what happens from here on out, because I am back, and I miss doing this, and I want to do it. It was something that I enjoyed, and I would love to be enjoying it again. So what happened? So going back to last year, in about March, I had a little bit of a breakup, and I'm not going to go into this too much, but basically I had a little bit of a breakup, and it was a little bit rough because of the way that things kind of went down at the end. The person got a little bit and then proceeded to sort of cyberstalk me a little bit. Side note, if you're watching this, I meant it when I said leave me alone, and that also means why the hell are you watching this? Seriously, F off. So yeah, that happened. Enough about that. Then the other thing that happened is that my work got a little bit more intense. My day job, obviously, I don't make a living off of YouTube, and it's not my intention to do so, although I will say that if I ever get to the point where I make a little bit of money doing this, whether it's from like ads or sponsorships or whatever, I wouldn't mind that, because then I could just buy more books. But I never intend to this to be a full-time career. It's just not what I'm about. I don't think I would enjoy that very much. And also, I'm reviewing books. I don't see how that's a full-time job. I mean, just trying to be realistic. Well, there may be like a little bit of money that I could maybe make. I just don't think it would ever be enough to like be a full-time sustainable living. So my regular job got to be like a little bit intense, and it goes on sort of cycles. There'll be times when I'm not as busy and everything is much more chill, and then there are times when I'm very busy and I work very long hours, and it is very stressful. Not something that I have a problem with. Like, I wouldn't say that I love my job, but I like my job, and I'm good at it. So I have no problems with my career. I just also, it got to the point where I needed to take a step back to figure out how to cope with that. And then between my work being so stressful and going through that other situation, I, started to have a little bit more of a struggle with my mental health and my disabilities, which are another thing that I don't want to go into too much, but just note that like I have a disability. That also made work more challenging, and then led to more stress and more burnout, and it became somewhat of a vicious cycle, and so I wasn't here. I wasn't making videos, and many times I thought to myself, like, I really want to make a video. I talked about on some other social media, like restarting my channel and ideas I had for restarting my channel, videos I wanted to do, but I just didn't. But thankfully, I was still reading. I didn't go into a complete and utter like reading slump where I didn't want to read anything, and I continued to read. And I continued to watch BookTube videos and continued to be inspired by them to a great deal. There were also some other minor things that sort of led to my taking a break that I would classify as like me setting myself up to fail as a booktuber. So I've always said that I wanted to do this because I thought it would be fun. And one of the things that I thought would be fun is to just sort of like expound on my opinions about books and about all things related to books. And then I started doing the BookTube channel, and not that there's anything wrong with this, but I started doing the standard TBR wrap up and then, maybe one or two other videos in between, and started doing things like unboxing or unhaul videos, etc. And it sort of became a little too routine very quickly. And then it became not like I want to do a video about X or Y. It became, it's time for me to do a TBR video. It's time for me to do a wrap-up video. And I, as much as I try not to compare myself to other people, was watching other booktubers who always got their wrap-ups up like right on time at the end of the month, or got their TBRs on like up right at the beginning of the month. And I just felt like I couldn't keep up with that schedule. And if I didn't keep up with that schedule, I wasn't going to grow my channel. And though I'm only doing this for funsies, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to do it well? And so I do want to grow my channel. And all of that internal pressure that I was only putting on myself made it like really hard on top of everything else that was going on to actually sit down and do videos and then want to edit them. I actually recorded several videos that I never edited, and I planned videos that I never shot, or I shot part of it and never finished it. So that's no bueno. And then there's this other thing that's like gonna sound so silly, but this thing that I was doing that started out as like just a really fun like Easter egg type of thing where I said hi to my mom at every video in a different language, that just sort of organically happened because I was saying hi mom in the languages where I already knew how to say hi mom. Then I started like filling in more languages, and that sort of comes from a place that I love learning new languages. But then it became like another thing that I felt like I had to do for every video. Like I would sit down and be like, okay, I'm about to shoot a video, and then realize like, oh shit, I have to find another new language to say hi to my mom in. Mom, I love you. I know you thought it was quirky and cool too, and I don't, nothing against you, Mom, but I'm just going to say hi, Mom, now, because that's, it sounds like such a little thing, but it like honestly was like just the last thing, like another thing that like put a barrier up so that I wouldn't sit down and record a video, because I like didn't want to have to look up and learn how to say hi mom in a new language. I know it sounds silly, but it is what it is. And so all of those things kind of put together. And one other thing, I really started accumulating more books when I started doing BookTube, because I was looking at all of these other channels and seeing people talk about these books, and I was like, I want to read that, I want to read that, I want to read that. And I started subscribing to subscription boxes because I thought they were like a lot of fun, and they are. But and then I was doing unboxings, and that was also part of my routine of videos that I was making. And then I looked at my shelves and realized how many books I had that I hadn't read yet, and started to feel really self-conscious about that. And so then I made the game of the TBR that I'm going to read the books I have, and I'm not going to buy any more books except for the subscription boxes, which kept coming with more books and adding more books to that backlog. And then I set a goal for myself to read 100 books in a year. All of that piled up, and I just couldn't keep up anymore. I just couldn't. Like I said, I kept reading, and I read 62 books last year, but I didn't get anywhere near the 100 books that I wanted to read, and I did not clear out my backlog of books, and I did buy more books, and I'm just going to have to be okay with it. I own a lot of books that I haven't read yet, and I may continue to get more books before I read these ones that I already have, and I'm either going to have to stop buying books, which I honestly don't want to do, or I'm going to have to learn to be okay with it. And right now, I'm basically learning to be okay with it. I have put up new shelves, added to my space for my book collection. At one point, my book collection was much larger than it is now. It has definitely been smaller than it is now. I am trying to find my comfort zone with this. I definitely will talk in future videos about hauls and unhauls and how I feel about that, and this weird sort of consumeristic society that we live in, and what that means with BookTube and what that means for me, etc. But all of that behind us, what's going to happen now? So I talked about like sort of the routine of the TBR and the wrap up and how that kind of got me into a rut. And so I still want to do those because those are kind of the mainstays of BookTube, and I think it's interesting. It's a way to talk about like what's coming up and what's gone past. And so I'm still going to do TBRs, but I may or may not do them every month, and I may or may not do games or things like that or themes. I might just say, these are the books I'm going to read this month, or I might pick a theme and say, for X month, for example, I know that there is like the Jane Austen July. I might do that. For the holiday season, I will probably continue to do Santa Smut. I actually read some Santa Smut this last year and recorded like a vlog. I may go ahead and post that as like Christmas in July, maybe, along with doing Jane Austen. But there may be months that I just decide I'm gonna try and read these books, and then that's that. And then wrap-ups. I'm going to try and keep wrap-ups to being very short and sweet. Like a couple lines on each of the books that I read, because I really do want to talk about what I've been reading and give my opinion about it, and, you know, share as part of the community at large of BookTube, and also help other people decide what they may or may not want to read. But I'm not going to go in depth in those videos about every book that I read. I'm just going to give a basic review, a couple lines. And then if there are books that I really want to talk about, I want to do individual videos about those books and talk about those books. And then I also want to talk about other topics related to the book world, and maybe even some videos that are not related to the book world, that are just related to my world even. On occasion, I may do things about writing. I might do videos about TV shows. I might do videos about music, because I also really love music. I'm involved in that. Although I'm not playing any music right now, and I'm not in any bands, and nor do I want to be, because God, that would just be like one more thing that I wouldn't be putting that much attention to. But I did cut off my nails because I want to practice guitar. But I make no promises. I have too many hobbies, okay? I have too many hobbies, it's true. So yeah. So maybe some other videos like that. Tags videos. I started this because I saw a tag that I liked, and I was like, I really want to do that tag. I haven't done a tag video. I had not done a tag video for a very long time. So like, that is something that I want to get back into doing. And so I want to spend less time on the, you know, basic routine BookTube videos and doing more personalized content that's just my own. And one other thing about how this channel is going to be run going forward is I plan on doing more bulk recording days. Or I should say bulk recording nights, because I prefer to do this in the evening. I am a night owl type of person. So I definitely want to record more videos at once, because that makes it easier for me. Just when I have an evening, I can go ahead and just record a bunch of videos and then edit them at my leisure and schedule them and put them out at a regular cadence. And hopefully that will help me get back into a regular cadence, and even someday be able to have like an actual established release calendar, like, which some people have, where they're like, I'm going to release a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, or whatever. I admire you so much. How do you do that? Please share your wisdom with me. So that's the changes of the channel that I think are going to help me continue going forward to participate. What is coming up for Peggy Lou Who in 2023? So I sat down and, by the way, I started like very loosely, like bullet journal style thing. So I also have a lot of stickers and things that kind of got into this collaging things or whatever. So this is very basic and whatever, but it soothed my soul. So for 2023, I have set myself a very reasonable goal of 45 books. So that is what I'm aiming for. I did a little graph here where I actually put up to 50, and then I sort of set up this color-coded by genre key down here. And so as I read a book, I am going ahead and filling in that box with that corresponding color to keep track of what I'm reading. And then, so 45 books. And I've sort of established like what I want to read this year as like different challenges. So, for example, or I will go through these, but again, I am marking them off with the same color code for genre. And I want to this year read 6 what I'm calling thick tomes, or books that are 500 pages or more. I want to read 10 new books, because I have so many books that were newly published in 2022 or 2023. And I want to read 5 nonfiction books and 5 classics and 6 books that are part of a series. I want to reread 3 books, and I want to read 5 of what I'm calling the backlog books. Those are books that were published before 2022. And then I want to read 5 books that are banned or challenged. So that adds up to 45 books. And so, yeah, as you can see, I'm already started filling some of these out. And if a book fits more than one category, I will select which one I want to place it under. I'm not going to double count anything. It will only be up to 45 books. I'm also keeping track of like how many pages I'm reading. That's just for funsies to look and see like if there's a month that is more specific. I'm keeping track of like how many books I rate, how many stars. And again, this is following the same sort of key of the genre color there. And then finally, I have this thing that I'm not going to show this too close up, because I may do another video on it at some point and we'll go into detail, but I have decided to do a 23 in 2023, and I have picked 23 books. Of them, 22 I already own. These are just books that I want to make sure I get to, especially because I already own them, and there's one on here that's a reread. Also, the next video that's going to be released out of this, I need to double check this against that, so I may rehash this about a bit, but stay tuned. That video will come out in a few days, and then hopefully the whole commentary will make sense. That is what I am hoping to do in 2023. Let me know if you have any words of wisdom or feedback that can help me achieve my goals. Let me know what you've been reading, what, if anything, you would like to see me cover or read this year. If you have any commentary about my new hairdo and color, please feel free to keep that to your fucking self. If you like my new shelves or have any questions or anything about that, go ahead and post that in the comments as well. Basically what I'm saying is like comment on this video, please, because that will help with the YouTube world. Also, I have a wish list that I'm going to post below, just because that's a thing that people do, and because, I don't know, I don't have a Patreon, I don't whatever, but like, you know, in the off chance that anybody wants to support the channel somehow, you are under no obligation whatsoever. But if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and sharing this video, that is all free. Until next time, read well. And so I completely derailed my train of thought. That's going in the blooper reel.